seen him go for cigarettes and never come back.
I'm like, wow, Dad, do I know you?
It's Black History Month, not Women's Month.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Finding yourself. Problematic question. It's quiet, but it's raging inside. That's ice cream people.
Yes. Same here, but still yes.
Oh, you shouldn't say this. Oh, you shouldn't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
There's no escaping.
There's no escaping a traffic jam either.
So interesting you cannot look at it.
Yeah, like a train wreck.
Jared Leto should play every Batman villain. Yes, I haven't rocked the no underwear thing in a long time.
Okay.
Wow.
You know.
It's like, you think you know me? Yeah, I do.
So let me just trauma about it. Let's see. Walmart fruit or gas station fruit?
A lot of accelerationists say like it just perpetuates the late stage of capitalism. It's like the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z, you know?
So a white lady had a black baby.
You know why this question makes me uncomfortable? It's so real.
I'm supposed to hear your Last time it was funny too.
Boom! The champ is here. She's been here before. On the stool, boobs are free.
True, no bra.
No, wait, that's my intro.
If you have her in your vicinity, it will be your honor if your toilet got her cheeks. She successfully branded daily poops with a funny anecdote. That's how you said it last time.
Anecdote. You know I got banned from TikTok?
Why?
Whoa.
Pornography.
Whoa.
Side cheek?
It's because my side cheek. And also, like, thank you so much, TikTok, for thinking that I'm not young. Like, counting it
That's
as
a
a
great
win.
stroke of confidence, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. All because of my poo talks.
Side cheek. I mean, did you have a back and forth with somebody in customer service or like the complaint department or something?
Yeah, dude. And they were like, this is child pornography. I was like, I'm an adult. Like, I'm an adult, I swear.
Yeah,
But they don't
really
believe you when
translate
you
in
say
text.
that. Yeah.
in text. Anyway, give it up for Liz Derr. Well, definitely submarine my intro for him because he has a nerve to put on a shirt on top of his shirt. But underneath, I see the black standard Zuckerberg black tee. This guy tells some of the best inappropriate jokes, but he makes up for it by having the best movie pose seen on IG by way of North Carolina. Michael Jordan voice. Give it up for Jason Zaremba.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Give it up for my imaginary friend.
Who shall be joining us in momentarily. Mm-hmm. We will say he's allowed. It's allowed because it's a Black History Month. See peace on. As the crowd goes, shh.
I know when not to talk.
I remember the first.
In the bathroom.
I remember the first time I heard CP time. We had to get a plumber or something at my house, and my roommate, who's black, said like, "Yeah, they're running on CPT." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Colored person time," and I'm like, "Am I allowed to acknowledge any sort of
Yeah.
Well, like, supposed to just be quiet. They ain't our space.
Yeah. Before I moved down to Atlanta, I was on this like radio show, and like the host was black, and he said like, "Yeah, you're gonna be moving down to Black Atlanta," and I was like, "I'm not sure how I feel. Can I say?" And I was like that.
I remember the first time I got asked by another comic if I do well in black rooms, and I was like, "We can say that."
You know what's funny is because it's like a thing, but it's also it's not harmful.
It's not harmful because the reality is the audience is an all black audience.
I mean, because the only other way
with like their one white token friend.
Yeah.
The only other way you can clean that up is say the urban crowd.
That's worse.
That sounds patronizing.
That's worse.
That sounds something they say on the West Coast. So
fucking West Coasters. They rebranded homelessness
into
being thespians. Like homeless people out there ain't like homeless people here.
You know somebody said this to me and I thought about it. The majority of the homeless out there are riddled with people who moved out there thinking they're gonna be a star and they're just in the streets now.
Yeah, but it's like a homelessness by choice versus like versus like mentally ill homeless.
Right.
It's a big difference.
You could be both.
Yeah,
you could be both.
You can
be
both.
All right, so what I like to do is to ease up most crowds. I don't need to do this with you guys because you guys come game, but I like to start off with a little game of what's worse. So,
Wow. I play this game in my head all the time.
All right, what's worse? Biting your cheek or burning your tongue?
Burning your tongue, hands down.
Why?
Because then your shit is ruined for the rest of the week.
Same thing is true. Same thing is true with where do you bite though?
The inside cheek, right?
The cheek or like inside of your mouth too, because sometimes I'll do that with my like canine teeth.
These are your cheeks. These are your cheeks.
I know where the cheeks are. I'm wondering if the question. I'm wondering if the question extends to other parts of the mouth. Is the question here?
I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear.
How do you bite your inside lip?
Oh, like around like this area. I don't know how it happens, but then like you just like have like a scrape there, and then anytime I like talk or do anything.
Either way, though, like your tongue being out of commission is way worse than having a little cut on the inside of your teeth.
It's not out of commission. It's just that weird scaly like braille tongue thing you got going for a week. Like you have like
its tasting is good.
Like coffee tongue.
You go to like try to eat something new, and then you're like, man, can't even really taste it today.
I can taste potential.
I've never burnt my tongue so much that it was like that for a week.
Few days. I think she was.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's only ever lasted for like a few hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Wolverine.
What are you eating? Fucking lukewarm food?
Not usually.
Eat cold. All right. What's worse? Someone stepping on your shoes or spilling on an all-white outfit?
All white outfit.
I agree. Even though I do be rocking these sick ass kicks.
Yeah. Why the all white outfit?
Because that is like that'll stain pretty easily, right?
You gotta take that shit off right away.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta take it off right away. Fucking soak it with some shit, the stain remover.
Yeah.
The only way to like salvage it is to stain the whole thing. You see that shit in movies.
Stain the whole thing.
Yeah, you like, oh, I spilled this red wine on my shirt. Well, let me just fucking spill red wine all over it, and now it looks intentional.
What movie is that?
I don't know, man. I don't know off the top of my head. It's not like I run around with lists.
Like him? I feel like he would have the answer for that.
Yeah, that's in Scary Movies 3 through 7.
All right, what's worse? A dog in a thunderstorm or wet cats?
I feel like, I don't know this for sure because I don't have a sense of smell, but I feel like a wet cat is worse than a doggy being sad over the rain.
A dog in a thunderstorm?
Cause like,
it's not the smell. It's usually how
that's sort
antsy
of
they get.
Well, yeah, but like...
I mean, I feel like cats are
like
just
cat
waiting to fucking feel fucked up about something, so you put them in the water and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Whereas a dog is just scared, but a cat is like looking for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't trust cats, dude.
No, you can't.
Do you guys own cats?
No.
No, for a reason.
No.
You never owned a cat?
No, allergic.
Did.
Ever dated someone with a cat?
Yeah, they're the worst people.
Yeah.
Why? What makes them the worst people?
Because they like cats.
Okay, I thought there was a deeper, darker imaging coming through with that. All right.
Yeah, you hear that, cat people?
Fuck you.
And like people that own cats, not like Hermione after she took the wrong polyjuice potion type cat people. That would be interesting.
Or if your name is Cat, that's probably fine too.
I love cat dinners.
Anyways.
Yeah. All right. What's worse? Let's see. Walmart fruit or gas station fruit?
Walmart fruit.
Food or fruit?
Fruit. We do food too, I guess.
So okay, where I'm from Jersey originally, and they do not fuck with any food at the gas station up there. But I moved down here, and people like happily go to the gas station for like fucking hot dogs and shit. Like people fuck with gas stations so heavy down here, and it disgusts me. Like I would always pick Walmart over a gas station, but after moving to Georgia and seeing some of these nice ass gas stations, I'm like, oh.
What
maybe better than Walmart.
Can you give a little breakdown of how gross the Jersey gas station food tends to be?
If you have to eat at a gas station in New Jersey, you're homeless.
Oh, okay.
Like that's because that's the only food you can afford, and like it notoriously makes you sick.
Okay.
It like apparently it smells. Like I said, I don't have a sense of smells.
Have
like
you
grimy.
lost
The places are dirty.
Before COVID?
I was born without a sense of smell.
Oh. So colognes and perfumes do nothing for you.
Correct.
Okay, so
Well, I can tell when someone's wearing too much because there's like fumes around them.
I thought you were gonna say when someone's
There's like a
extra
cloud
funky.
of perfume around them.
No, it's like I can like taste the chemicals in the
Yeah.
air. So it's like I know if someone's
I don't know what you mean.
like, you
But
know, like
my
it
sense
can
of
make
smell
your
kind of
eyes
takes
water.
it. Yeah.
Like
It's like
same
usually
concept.
this time it's like people that smoke a lot that like put on way too much of whatever they're trying to put on because they cake it on so they can smell it, which is like way too much for everyone else. It becomes a thing.
That makes sense.
So you smell a person when they're funky or no?
No, never. Can't smell anything. I can just pick up on like fumes. Like I can taste like a gas in the air if I'm at a gas station, but I can't smell it.
Okay.
It's got to be like an overwhelming fume for me to be like, ooh, something's not right here. Like I can taste like when someone's cooking a homemade meal, I can taste like spices in the air.
Okay. I'm gonna direct this next question towards Jason first.
All right, here we go.
What's worse, no draws or bad draws?
Wait, bad draws?
Yeah.
Like holy panties.
Oh, I don't care about that.
So you'd rather which one?
Actually, neither of those sound bad to me. Why should no underwear? Cool, less work, I guess.
Let's work.
What are we doing?
You don't have them sticking to your leg like.
Yeah, I guess I haven't rocked the no underwear thing in a long time. I'm gonna go no underwear though, because at least if you got like there's like holes in it and shit, it's like, well, you have something.
I just
Ventilation system. Go ahead. Bad draws?
I would rather wear no underwear than wear whole underwear because like you'll get one pussy flap out, and then she's just like. I don't know, searching for life out there, and the rest is all contained, and it's just like, and you feel the difference.
Yeah.
A pussy
like,
flap on an exhibition.
I would
on an
rather
expedition.
she be out and proud than like sneaking out behind a tree. You know what I mean? Like she don't need to hide behind the bush with that whole underwear.
Like a soldier in Vietnam, just peering around the corner.
I've never got that visual from a pussy lip before. I didn't think of. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, someone drinking your beverage or someone eating your food. Which one's worse?
Drinking my beverage because usually food is like can be pretty shareable. Like fries, yeah, you can have a fry. If you walk up and take a bite of my burger, I'd be pissed, and that's not awesome.
Yeah, but you could always like cut around where they bit,
Yeah,
whatever.
but, like,
But a drink, it's like, oh well, now they got backwash.
Yeah, don't put your fucking mouth in my mouth spin.
Yeah.
Like, there's no coming back from it. Mm-hmm. You're committed to that drink now, and you're like, damn.
I don't give a buck. I don't.
I actually thought that was gonna go the other way. Okay, that's cool. This is why you ask the questions. All right.
It'd be so much funnier if you just told us what you think our answers would be.
I've done that on occasion. I got jumped by women, so I stopped doing it.
That makes sense.
yeah.
What they think.
Yeah. Even if it's true, I still got jumped.
No.
Like,
It's worse if it's true.
Yeah,
It's so much worse.
You know.
It's like, you think you know me? Yeah, I do. I think I got
I
it.
feel like we just trauma bonded. All right. What's worse, wigs or spraying on the hairline? I think this is more of a cultural question.
Spraying
not a
on?
white question.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say spraying on the
Spraying on
hairline.
sounds way worse. Than
That just
putting
made
on a wig.
Yeah.
All right.
Spraying
so
it on sounds like that's just a bummer knowing people do that.
It's a thing that have you guys ever noticed it?
Well, my dad does it with his beard, but he's also married to a black woman. So I feel like that's
It's like he fills it in.
he gets it filled in at the barber.
Okay.
Yeah, and they like line it up.
With like a Sharpie.
And
Wait,
he
they get him?
didn't do that till he married Rhonda. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
He never heard of that before Rhonda.
But his tail was crispy though, right?
It's crispy. Yeah, it looks good. It's sharp.
Yeah.
But it looks like a lot of work. Like, it looks like harder than
Yeah.
just pop it on a wig.
It is. It's a process.
I think it should be more socially acceptable for men to wear toupees.
They look
Why
bad.
so?
That's the problem.
I've never seen
That because it's not cool to wear them.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the half.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't had the proper innovation because the demand isn't there.
Well, no.
So if we up the demand-
Maybe the demand is there and we don't know because we both have full heads of hair.
That's
Maybe
true.
it's already out there. Maybe toupees have stepped their game up and we just haven't done our research.
No, it's like
I'm gonna start pulling the hair of old men now.
Well, they do the hair transplants now.
That's
Hair
true.
transplants, That's
Yeah.
right.
That's true.
The science is caught up.
My ex is talking to me about that.
About getting
He's bald, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd look funny with hair.
Going, or where's
It's
going?
like
It's creeping on the side.
it's like all of this.
Oh, got the Hulk Hogan?
He started going bald at like 20.
It happens.
Yeah.
So can someone get like a hair transplant, but they do like the old timey monk thing where it's just all around, like nothing on top. It's just all side
I will
and
send
front.
you a picture of a person that's very interesting looking,
That's awesome.
and they actually
Very
have like
interesting
a.
looking.
That's the best way I can. It's like they had a. It's like they have a shell, like a. How can I describe this thing? What up? What up? What up? Leave the clothes open like that. So it's not. It's kind of like. You guys know who Tory Lanez is, right? All right. So his dad, he had like this bald fade thing going, and he has like a part, but it's not hair there. It's like it looks like an outline of where the hair is supposed to grow in at, and that's the best way I can describe it.
Okay, that sounds ridiculous.
It
Nice.
does, but it looks so interesting. You cannot look at it.
Yeah, like a train wreck.
Yeah, like everyone.
You gotta look.
You gotta look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so like it looks like art. It looks like art.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Well, that's different. That's a way nicer description. It looks
Yeah, like when you
art.
see someone with like
Sounds
a
way
chameleon like shape of their hair, and then like they have like the tail becomes like a beard or whatever.
That sounds like something an artist would do.
That
Yeah,
sounds like something you're gonna do in your 60s.
most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a big question mark.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn into the Riddler. I'm gonna start wearing question mark suits.
Oh my god, I believe it.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds like the thing they'll do with Batman, with the Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah.
Like they'll make
Yeah.
him the Riddler like that. Question mark with hairpiece thing.
Right?
Jared Leto should play every Batman villain.
He should.
Two-Face, I'd love to see him as Catwoman. I could see him pulling that off. I mean, we've all seen Dallas Buyers Club. I think he can bring a real energy
I've
to
never
that role.
watched that.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's good.
I know it's good. It's just it's like
It's sad.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when you know it's gonna be a sad watch. It's like, dude, I'm gonna be sad right
Only
now.
watch it when you want to cry. Like if you're like, I need to
Never-
cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That, my life is sad enough by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, my life's sad, but I like can't make myself cry. I like watch sad movies to like get the
Last time
cry
I
out.
cried.
I'm just trying to think.
So you looked at him like
You're just looking at me hoping it'll make you cry? Because I've gotten that before.
It's been a while,
Sorry, bro.
at least a couple months.
a couple months. Okay. What caused it? Was
It was my breakup.
Oh. Oh. No.
Before that, it was way worse.
I believe. Last movie to make you cry.
Forrest Gump too. Forrest Gump is always the one that makes me cry when he's standing under the tree and he's like, I miss you, Jenny. And I'm like, oh, God. Every time it hurts my heart.
All right, what's worse? Being stuck in a traffic jam or airport layover?
Traffic jam.
Airport layover.
Yeah. Really? I don't mind being
No
in an airport.
escaping. There's no escaping.
There's no escaping a traffic jam either.
You're still like wiggling. Like there's still progress. You could always pull off and do back roads. You could hit a gas station and chill for a minute. But layover, you're
gas
just
station hot
there,
dogs.
and there's no knowing how long the delay is gonna be.
Yeah.
If you're delayed,
You're at
like
their mercy.
oh, and it's not like you can leave and come back in.
True.
That's true.
You're just there now.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't mind an airport.
I prefer the
They're
airport
dirty.
over.
I once had a 4-hour, I mean, that's like
I
nothing in
gotta be-
layover times, but the flight was supposed to be at like 6 a.m. And then ended up like being pushed back. They actually like, we were already on the plane and they like had us get off the plane and like, just like, it was,
I had a layover.
What was the reason?
I don't remember. We
The
forgot to
pilot
put the
probably-
engine in or something. I don't
Pilot
remember.
Probably went over his hours for flying. They can only fly a
Possibly.
certain amount of hours before
Yeah.
it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. My longest layover was 15 hours in Puerto Rico,
Whoa.
and I
That sounds
that's
like
why
the
you said
title of
that.
a
I hated
movie.
every minute of it. There was-
15 Hours in Puerto Rico, starring
in
Matthew
the
McConaughey.
airport. In the airport in Puerto Rico. It was a layover to get to the
The air Puerto Rico?
Dominican Republic. DR, baby.
All right.
Damn.
What's worse? It's the last one for what's worse. You guys ice cream people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes me shit myself.
You still eat it though?
Same here, but still yes.
Yeah, okay. It's like most
Worth
adults.
it.
What's your
Anytime
best-
I'm about to eat ice cream, I put on a diaper. I'm like, let's go.
I tried.
Let's do it.
I mean,
Scary
that's
pills.
a man. That man's a planner.
Hell yeah,
All right,
dude.
what's worse?
I'm the Riddler, baby.
Question mark uploading. You gotta find the right barber. I'm seeing some black guys. Ask for that. All right. McDonald's ice cream machine or chicken place not having chicken? Which one is worse?
Chicken place not having
Chicken place not having chicken.
Because, like, when I go to McDonald's, I ain't going for the ice cream, first
Yeah.
of all. Second of all, if I'm going to a chicken place and there's no chicken, what the fuck did
Yeah.
you just waste my time for, bro? But I ain't just rolling up to McDonald's just for one of those ice creams. Just saying.
Where do you get your ice cream from?
The store?
No, I'm saying if you were to get it from a drive-thru, are you a McDonald's girl? Are you a Wendy's Frosty girl?
Oh my god, I would just never do either of that.
Neither.
Neither.
Okay. You ever done French fries and milkshake?
That is delicious. That's very dinery.
French fries in a Frosty. Pretty great.
That's where I got it from.
Pretty great.
I've never been. I got introduced to that because of the show, and that's why I asked. So, but you said you only do that in a diner.
Yeah, so I'm from Jersey. Jersey is like diner culture. So like, there's no Waffle Houses there. There was like one IHOP around where I grew up. But the diners are basically. But there was
Waffle
like
Houses.
50 diners. It's all homo-owned shit, and they've got like the good shit. It's,
Okay.
Like,
Well,
really,
Friendly's is the ice cream.
Scoop Coop, where I grew up, bro. That was
Scoop Coop. That
Scoop
sounds
Coop.
great.
That was the town ice cream shop. It was
That
really
sounds
cool.
like a
Wow.
really good place.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
then
like
in
the name of
winter,
an
they
early
started
90s
selling
R&B
soup,
group.
make some extra money.
Soup and ice cream.
Soup in the winter and ice
Buy
cream in the summer,
toilet
dude.
paper.
Wow.
Does it come with toilet paper?
No.
Sounds like it should.
They just like their liquid.
That'd be funny if you went to like one of those like rib places that instead of napkins had paper towel on the fucking thing, and you're like, damn, that's some big ass toilet paper, and then you fucking pull your pants down and start wiping.
Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking reverse. Because I've seen barbecue places that have like just paper towels. Like
Yeah, paper towels like on the table and
Yeah.
shit. And it's funny to look
But,
at
like,
that
in
and
the
be like,
bathroom.
holy shit, is that big ass toilet paper? Don't mind if I do. And then you pull down your pants and just wipe
It's
yourself.
probably a place
It was a
that's
stretch. It was a stretch. It took a while.
Yeah, I know, but it's fun. I like a good stretch. I like a good
Well,
stretch.
you gotta explain the funny.
I like a
It'd
good
probably
stretch.
be a place that like caters towards truck drivers.
Yeah.
The big ass white.
Fucking truck drivers.
Tried. Try to save it. We both got. Do you guys ever have beef with other comics about like their jokes? Premise not being funny, or
It depends on the joke. There are some comics in the scene that I think are very disrespectful people.
what makes a so it's kind of funny because there are a lot of lines that get crossed and there seems to be no lines. So what qualifies?
I think that you can joke about anything as long as you joke about it the right way.
Okay.
I really do believe that. I'm a firm believer in that. But if your premise is to put down a person or a group of people,
Okay.
it is not a funny joke, and whatever you say after that is not funny. Because you are now putting yourself above another person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not where comedy comes from.
I have such a weird, problematic question. Are you saying that as a comic or a white woman?
I'm saying that as a comic.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I had to ban somebody from my show last week because he went on stage and he said a bunch of transphobic jokes while I had trans audience members.
Well, I
One of my
apologized,
audience
so.
members, Caitlyn Jenner, the whole time, which is very distasteful.
Whoa.
And then he threatened to shoot people who didn't laugh at his jokes. So
Oh,
this
I've
man
seen
had
that
to be
before.
banned. So it's like, that's... But I will say...
Have you worked with this person before?
No, I banned them from the show, though. I'm not going to let them come back for buckets. Absolutely not.
Damn.
You cannot speak that way on my stage and expect
I mean,
to be
well,
asked back.
Have you seen their stand up before this?
No.
Before that night? Oh, that was the first
That was the
and
first
last.
time, yeah.
It's
First time,
usually
First and last,
a
you cannot
newcomer
come
that.
back.
Yeah.
And then when I banned him, he lost his shit on me.
Really?
And then threatened me, yeah. But
I mean, he threatened the
he
crowd.
threatened the
So
fucking audience
Yeah.
too. So
makes
yeah, he
sense.
showed up the next week and tried to get back on, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I cannot. I was like, due to your transphobic comments and the fact that you scared my audience, I'm not going to allow you to perform on my show.
Yeah.
And he lost it.
So
Damn.
And I just walked away because like I don't gotta listen to that.
yeah, at that point in time, he's still coming back. Was he brand new to the scene, or
I don't know anything about
Don't
him,
know.
and I don't feel like doing the research on a loser.
It usually is like it's usually a first timer that does that type of shit. Like I'm just gonna go for shock and just say hateful shit, and that's what comedy is.
Yeah, that's not what comedy is. Hateful things are not comedy. There's a difference between straight up hate speech and making a joke.
Okay. What's the line for you?
For me,
Yeah.
for me, as far as I think, if the people you're talking about can laugh at it, then you're fine. And it's hard because people are individuals and shit. You can maybe
yeah.
piss off some people, not the others.
But if it's 10 people within that group and you get 8 to 9 of them to laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how often do you guys have a person get up and try to turn your comedy stand-up to a TED Talk? Oh, you shouldn't say this. Oh, you shouldn't talk about that.
I really only had that happen once, and it wasn't even about a joke.
What was it about?
So this woman walked up to me after a show and told me that my name was inappropriate. My real name is Liz Derr. It's not a stage name.
What made it inappropriate to her?
That's what I asked.
Okay.
And she went, "Really? You're gonna make me say it? Derr?" And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
It's making fun of
Mentally challenged people.
mentally disabled
Carlos
people.
Mencia style.
And it's like, I was like, oh, that's my actual last name. Like, maybe you should check yourself. But
I mean, well, you know what?
but yeah, she came at me thinking that I was like making fun of mentally handicapped people.
Which, what a weird way to do that, too.
Way to
just
do
like,
it.
yeah, I'm just going to make my last name be an offensive idea of what, not even the whole thing, just an idea of what
I mean,
they
that would
say.
have worked in the 80s because, like, people were that kind of hacky.
It would have, probably, yeah.
Just, like, lean into it. That's that whole brand.
That would have been a football team, probably.
The Derr.
The Derrs.
Yeah, the Derrs.
Sounds like they're from Texas.
God. That mascot, though,
I would
wild.
have the Appalachian
You
Mountain.
said a mascot.
That mascot, though, must be a good time.
Thank you, I am.
Mom, she's scaring the kids. All right. Well, let's wait for our guest to come in. Unconfirmed facts about the next guest. He writes rap bars while listening to rock, but he seeks balance by listening to lo-fi hip-hop while training for jiu-jitsu. He's quiet, but he's raging inside. This is Roman James. Everybody know
What was that last part?
He's quiet, but he's raging inside.
Oh, wow.
You gotta do it with the rock voice.
Yeah.
My mom.
Oh,
Gotta edit that part out.
not WAP.
Y'all see that meme, right? Okay.
Not WAP.
It's like, Jason looked at me like, what's going on here?
I'm not up on the memes and trends and shit like
Okay,
that.
that's how I had to explain it.
No.
That boy
I
was
saw
me.
the concern in your eyebrows. I felt it. I felt judgment.
Oh, I thought you were straight up gonna kill your mom, and I was
Oh,
like,
no,
"Whoa,
no.
let's do the show first,
no,
maybe, and then we'll talk about it." That's a conversation you have. You don't just go doing that, you know.
Nah, dude. Blind confidence in it. Let's curb stomper. I'm sorry.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna.
You got that life insurance policy out on there yet?
Yeah, I know, right? We'll find out after this.
Oh, man.
If I'm doing
Murdering
the
our
translation.
parents. What a good
Oh God.
Yep, you walked into it.
Damn,
All right, so you kind of walked into the problematic talk. You walked into problematic questions.
Uh-oh.
So, speaking of parenting, that's a great segue. Problematic question. Is parenting a full-time job?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt pressure in your answer.
Nah. I agree.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Does anyone ever have kids? No kids?
I've dated people with kids, but like not just like, oh, like my boyfriend has a kid. It was like I was raising his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've dated a girl with kid. She got one son, but I've seen like all the stuff that like she was doing while balancing her professional life and
Oh,
yeah.
so you don't have any?
No, I don't have none.
That man been pulling out. Or I
We're wrapping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few ways.
A little bit of
Or
both.
just not having sex. That's also an
That's a
option.
combination of
Yeah.
all three. Yeah.
You said a combination of all three?
Yeah, all three.
Sounds like a complicated year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding yourself. All right. Have you ever had an argument with somebody about why parenting is not a full-time job? Start with Liz.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
So
I feel rapper hands coming.
I hear this all the time. How it's like men will say like, I would love to be a stay-at-home dad. I won't ever have to work again. Just hang out with the kids all day. And I'm like, do you not realize that raising your children is a full-time job more so than a day job? Mm-hmm. They did research on this, and if you were to put a dollar amount on how much a stay-at-home parent actually works and the different jobs and skills that they have to have in order to do it, it's over $400,000 a year.
That's an inflated number.
No, I mean, when you're
That study came out
considering...
10 years ago, because it's a 24 seven jobs.
I saw
dude.
something. No one's working 24/7.
But except
I mean, honestly, yeah,
that
parents,
baby
you're
wakes up every
honestly.
2 hours to get fed, my man, and is shitting it out already.
It doesn't
Why do you
stay a
think
baby
they're-
alone that long.
Well, the stakes are like so much
I know
higher
they're
with a
worse.
kid.
I know.
So it's
I've dated women with children as well. But what I'm saying, like, no job is working 24 hours though.
I think
So-
parenting is a 24-hour job.
In theory, yes.
Like,
But you
that
go to
minute-
sleep.
Yeah, but
tons
you
of
have
breaks.
to wait.
yeah, you go to sleep for like an hour till they
An
wake you
hour,
up. So
then
it's
you
a
have to wake up,
23/7
you
job,
feed
I
it.
guess.
23/7?
Yeah,
Yeah,
23/7.
Like,
23/7.
either way, they put they did research, they put a dollar amount
Dude,
on it.
it's Black History Month,
And
not
it
Women's Month.
It is a lot of fucking work to be a stay-at-home parent. So when I hear this more with men, when men say, "Oh, I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad," it's like, do you or do you just think that women don't do anything when they're at home with the kids? Because there's a big difference between the two.
I know guys that say stuff like that, but they just don't know. But also, I would probably want to know what are they doing for their job, because it usually is like a hard manual labor out in the sun or something like that.
I mean, or not. My dad hardly spent time with us, and he didn't do any manual labor.
No, really?
Yeah. My mother was a stay-at-home mother.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to work, which was great. My dad made enough money to support the family, but he was hardly around. I didn't really know anything about him. But I
When
lived
did you
with that
learn
motherfucker.
anything about him besides the beard being well crafted?
I didn't really start getting to know my dad till I was a teenager.
Really?
Yeah.
Was
Even
it
though I lived with him.
I understand that because I think a lot of people, well, most kids that are like latchkey kids, that they really understand that the most, or just the parents are always at work, and you probably see them like leaving and going.
Yeah, I never really saw. I didn't even know he had blue eyes until I was 13.
I mean, at least he didn't go for cigarettes and never come back.
I don't think I know my parents' eye color. I'm like, wow, Dad, do I know you? Like, just next time I see my dad, I'm like, Dad, can I just look into your eyes for a little bit? I got a question I need to answer.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I barely know the color of my own eyes.
Right? I know what all y'all's colors eyes are, and I've only been in this room for 5 minutes.
Wow, you're hey, you lost one sense, and now your other ones are
I
stronger.
feel the awkwardness coming off from him. He's like, nervous smile.
No, I'm just being a sponge. I'm just
Are you good?
absorbing energy.
All right, problematic question.
Another one.
That was all your stuff that you sent me in a paragraph.
Oh yeah, I was mad. I could feel my heart.
Oh, boy.
I don't even know what made you upset. So, dude, men don't understand the wage gap. Is it real? Let's start with the men.
The wage gap?
Yeah, between men and women.
It's complicated.
Okay. You gonna get any more than that?
That's the problem.
Some election year?
Well, it's
It's complicated.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
that's the point.
yeah. I mean, it's more complicated than just the standard like talking point that's given that the $2 amounts because. It's not like there's only 2 jobs in the world and you can compare the two.
Right.
There's also like a lot of gains that have been made among certain demographics of women versus others.
Yeah.
And so there's like a lot more to it than just the wage gap. It's there's a lot of other. I've been watching these Andrew Tate videos, and I think I have the.
Quick question. Did you start watching him before he got locked up or after?
I've honestly never watched a single
I
Andrew
watched a
Tate
little
video.
bit. I watched a little bit of him before.
Wow, I'm glad I gave off those vibes. That's good to know.
I watched a little bit of him before.
If we were serious, we would not be carpooling.
Like, what's that podcast?
Fucking drunk is right.
Fresh and Fit podcast. I've seen like
of
some,
those.
yeah, a few of those. That shit, wow.
Yeah, it is.
But
So what's your take on the wage gap? Does it exist? Do you understand it?
it does exist. I think maybe this is my opinion. I think it has gotten a little bit better for the women over the recent course of history
Like
and
20 years or something.
yeah, like really like the past 5 and like just
Okay.
with like different stuff coming out and like societal viewpoints and like just I don't want to say it, but
It's easier to be a woman. You can just come out and say it.
you gotta put some respect on the OnlyFans industry and
Oh, yeah.
how it
that you brought that
changed
up.
and
I
how
love that you brought that up.
We're gonna go with that.
it changed a lot like of a lot of people's lives and it just there was a big surge when like that stuff really just started popping and there were more
Like Lyft and Uber.
yeah. There were more. Oh my God, Uber. I invested in Uber, and that's why I'm. Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, like just like when that came out, like, and there were like others like platforms that were similar to it, but just never did what OnlyFans did.
Yeah.
And it changed the game forever. And I think it's a big plus for women. And I'm glad they have like something that like they can
Generate that type of money.
yeah.
Well,
very
there's a couple
liquid.
things with it too. Like, there's the fact that I think I saw this somewhere. There are, as far as like the top 500 like companies, there are more CEOs named Bob than there are female CEOs. And then another thing is that as far as like college graduation rates, the percentages are where they were like 50 years ago in so far as like the gap between men and women, but now it's reversed and a lot more women are graduating from college than men.
What would be your assessment, or what would be the reason for that?
The reason for that, I think a lot of it, well, a big part of it is just that women and girls like mature mentally a lot faster than men. There's a lot of talk right now actually about having men start school a year later than women do.
Really?
Yeah, because of the brain development. They develop much quicker than boys do.
Our brains are done growing at 23, whereas male brains are done growing at 25.
So, I'm going to throw this out here. For the people, the toxic masculinity that's not in the room, it's more advantageous to be a woman today than it is to be a man. Agree, disagree? Start with the men first. Put the pressure on them.
I think it's about, I think like, because of recent events,
OnlyFans, you mean?
like not even just OnlyFans, like other stuff. The playing field has been leveled, and I think it's like getting close to, I don't want to say it's easier, but I almost want to say it's like 50-50. I want to say it's pretty even.
There's no right or wrong in this room.
Yeah.
It's going to be different, though.
Yeah.
Until she can get a word in.
Right.
But I think it's about 50-50.
Feel your chest burning.
I know, like back then, like we had more opportunities than women back in the day. But I think now that like, you know, a lot of good changes have came into the world, and well, good and bad changes. And I think that, I think it's about even. I think that we're heading to like a good period.
Okay.
You know?
What say you, Jason?
I think that there are different areas where there are advantages to being women and there are advantages to being a man. A majority of the
Let's hone in on the advantages. What would pick out some
well,
of the
like,
advantages?
I mean, and saying that a majority of the inequalities that we have in our society along gender are because of a history of a patriarchal society. And I'd say the one thing that like you can't debate at all between men and women is that for a man, it's much easier to feel safe walking alone at night.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's a pretty heavy like thing. So I feel like if that is, I mean, that's something that like women have to counter into their lives like every day.
Based on the physical differences between men and women, will women ever have that luxury of feeling safe in public by themselves?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's as much about
long as men exist.
as far as like ever reaching a level where they can feel comfortable doing that. I don't know if that's as much. That would be as much about the physical differences as much as it's having, you know, more men that don't rape. I'd say that's a pretty big sign of progress, in my opinion. Is if we can just get a little bit less of that, I think that'll be good.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, you know what? A lot less. A lot less.
A
Yeah.
lot less.
Yeah.
Someone say one's too many. All right. So let's get to the lady whose chest is burning.
So I wanted to touch on this OnlyFans thing. Society hates women for being women. They hate us for our bodies. And then they hate us for making money off of these bodies. And then you have, oh, well, she's attention seeking. Now let's put her down for making money on the body that society deems as not as important as a man's. So although women have done what they could to work with what they have, it is still not an advantage because it's still an issue. Many men will say, I won't date a woman who has an OnlyFans or a stripper or an escort.
Guys that need to
or
get
any
over
kind of sex
themselves.
worker.
Neither what?
Guys that need to just get over themselves. Like,
You dated a
calm
stripper?
down. I've never dated a stripper, but I wouldn't care, I don't think.
What about you?
Nope, I haven't, but I wouldn't care.
You don't care? What about if you find out she had an OnlyFans?
I wouldn't care either. I mean, I want to say that's kind of in the. Well, OnlyFans isn't just what the majority of. It's not just porn. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. But if I had to say, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
I wouldn't care.
You got more to add to that?
I do.
Okay.
I think that the advantages or perceived advantages that women have are minuscule in comparison to the advantages that men have.
Can you name something that guys will throw out there?
Well, I did like Jason's point of just the simplicity of walking alone at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that can be taken so many ways. It's not just walking down my street at night. It's getting pulled over by a police officer. We're supposed to wait until we're in the light. A street light is on us before they pull you over. Because that's something they train you in school as a woman. When you are in driver's ed, they teach the women that.
Never heard that before.
Yeah. There's a lot of small things like this.
Yeah.
Thinking about having someone handing me a drink. I've never been okay with that.
Okay.
Just all these little things, right? I mean, I work in tech as my day job. I'm a comedian by night. So both are male-dominated fields.
Right.
And I'm consistently undermined because I'm a woman, I therefore need to prove myself. But people who are men don't have that prove yourself period. They are given benefit of the doubt. And this is every industry I've ever worked in, but I do happen to work in male-dominated fields. And in order for me to be respected in any way, I have to prove myself first. Whereas a man gets that right off the bat without having to prove themselves. And I think that right then and there is how we know we're not where we're supposed to be societally.
Right.
So
I do think we're making the right steps though.
Yeah.
So to give a little pushback on that, let's involve the OnlyFans aspect of it. You can work your tech day job and say you didn't do comedy at night and you did OnlyFans. You would be able to generate so much more money than the average guy that works in the same field.
That goes right back to my point of society hates women for being sexual but constantly sexualize us. So now we're making money on our bodies and then we're hated for doing that. Which is exactly saying, oh, well, women make more money on OnlyFans. Yeah, so do all porn stars.
Right.
Period. The entire porn industry is about the pussy.
No pushback.
Sometimes the asshole.
No argument there.
Pushback from me there.
No argument.
And in the porn industry, women are treated terribly.
Yeah.
They recruit young women and drug them up, and they are treated very poorly. And women now taking control of their body and having this sexual experience in their own controlled environment is somehow deemed an advantage. Yeah. It's just them using what they were given to make money.
Isn't it really an advantage if you can make so much more money than the next person? Because we're start this conversation talking about the wage gap.
But if women were paid the same as men in any field, why are there more porn stars as women than there are for men? Like, people need to resort to different avenues of income.
Well, there's also just a hopelessness among Gen Z in general. Like when they're when you're like graduating high school, you look at the way things are and you're like, well, there's no hope for me. I do have this pussy and I hear I can make a good amount of money on it. And then you have like a guy that's like, well, I can't make that much money off this dick, so I'm just gonna vape in the basement and play video games. And that's why we do have there is a problem now with the growing generation of men, and they are feeling isolated because we are making all this progress with women, but we're not. Which is great. It's great.
Making progress with men as far as mental health goes. The number one killer of young adult males in the UK is suicide.
Yeah,
that's a really tragic statistic because why are we not taking care of the men like we're taking care of women? It's just as important for men to be accepted in their feelings as it is for a woman.
Deaths of despair are infinitely higher among men.
That's where women have the advantage. It's more okay for me to cry than it is for you to cry.
Yeah.
But,
and women are
why do we think that way? Right?
Well, and also women are taught to socialize in a much more healthy way to the point where I forgot.
Because I'm pretty sure I was taught to socialize in a way that will keep me from getting murdered.
Well, I'm talking about socializing in the way of a circle of friends and things, to the point where I guess we're talking about a different definition of socializing. Well, also the fact that I forgot where the data came from. I think it was Cigna, but there is a growing number of men who responded and said they can't think of a close friend that they feel like they can talk to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
gu-
like
both of you
it's
guys-
twice
both
the
of you guys
size.
agree with that?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. Maybe in this way, women are more advantageous because we are socially acceptable to feel our feelings. However, in a broader scheme of socialization,
Yeah.
I constantly watch what I say and how I say it to avoid being followed later. Like when I had to ban that man from my show, I said it as quickly and succinctly and clearly as I could with no inflection of tone in my voice, and he still lost his shit on me. After, mind you, threatening to shoot the audience. So that was me fully containing my emotions and still terrified, right?
Yeah.
So even if I did have an emotional response, that terror is there, but I'm trying my best to minimize it. Whereas, like, if a man said this to this guy, he wouldn't have that same fear. He wouldn't have to worry about the socialization standards of smiling, nodding, and taking it. Because it's easier to take a disrespectful comment than it is to get your ass kicked.
Yeah. When we talk about, you have something to add?
No.
When talking about feelings, expressing emotions as men, do you think we can make progress where it's not you're not necessarily being the subject of ridicule?
I think the next
Yeah.
generation's really made a lot of headway
Yeah.
with that, to be honest with you. I think these
Yeah.
years are really very emotionally in touch with themselves.
Yep.
For the most part, I mean, there is also.
Still toxic masculinity.
Oh, there's plenty of toxic
Yeah.
masculinity. That's why, like, you look at the things the right has talked about in the past few years. It's all about masculinity. Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate and now Tucker Carlson, they're making real names for themselves by reaching out to young men and saying, like, hey, you want to get
does Tucker
laid?
say?
Listen to us. Huh?
What does Tucker say?
He made a whole documentary about the drop in testosterone levels and just basically blaming feminists for it and all that shit, when really it's because of all the toxic chemicals in all our water
Well,
and
I saw
food and
All the
everything.
hormones in the food.
Oh yeah, it's
Corn, yeah.
yeah, and
Corn,
it's
you can't trust corn.
yeah, and that's why you're actually seeing a yeah. Well, you're seeing this trend like right now that's coming up where young like Gen Z women are going more to the left, but there's a lot of young men that are going more to the right because they don't feel like there's a place for them on the left because these issues of what's going on with men aren't being addressed by the left. And if you like try to bring them up, there's a good amount of people that'll be like, oh, well, what are you, Jordan Peterson
Well, it's the
kind of
broken
shit?
arm conversation. You can go in real beat up from an accident. You have a broken arm and a cut on your leg.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the doctor says to you, oh, well, you have a cut on your leg. And you're like, yeah, but this broken arm is pretty much more important right now.
Yeah.
That's the conversation. Like, and not to be disrespectful to
pressure
men or their
Olympics.
feelings, but like, yeah, sometimes other shit's got to take priority.
That's true, but you
And,
can
like,
you
the
can
racial issues and the female issues are issues that need to be taking the forefront right now. Period. End of story.
yeah, taking the forefront, but you can also do that while also addressing the other
Sure,
issues.
like the he for she movement.
Yeah, and well, there's also this, like, when we look at the issues facing women, the issues facing people of color and trans people, we treat them as systemic issues, as we should, but when it comes to men, and the poll of men saying they don't feel like they have a close friend, the highest percentage of that was among black men.
Yeah.
And so it's seen as an individual failure, even though it's happening at a certain level where it's like, no, this can't just be there's over 1 million individuals doing something wrong. Something is wrong with the way we're structuring our society.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think like, cause I read somewhere, I don't know how accurate it is, but they said like the suicide rate for black men in America was like at an all-time high a year or two ago. And then it's funny you brought up that close friend thing. I was gonna say like there was a challenge on IG, especially like all my homies and a couple other guys were doing it. It was like a 10-year challenge with like their friend group. How many of your friends are like still here? And I was like, damn, that's real. And I'm glad like. I'm big on the podcast game, and I see like a lot of retired or veteran athletes having podcasts, and I think it's wonderful because they're seen as like the toughest of the tough, or they always got to be alpha male and all that stuff, high testosterone. But they're starting to be big advocates for like mental health, especially when you got CTE and other issues like that coming on, and like seeing like what they did. Like I watched one called I Am Athlete. And then I watched another one called Pivot Podcast, and they had Michael Beasley on there. And Michael Beasley was going through it.
He's always been going
Yeah,
through it.
and like if you know his story, like a lot of people was like betraying him and talking about him behind his back and stuff, but we didn't even know that. We just thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And seeing like how they like just shed light on that is like, I thought that was incredible. And I'm glad like they're doing it. And now there's more of them doing that too. So now like athletes are like having a big a side of them not shown. Same thing with like
It's about image. It's totally about image. I mean, like as a woman,
Image and control the narrative.
as like a woman versus like as a man, right? Like if a woman has a very like crazy reaction to something, crazy bitch. If a man has a emotional reaction to something, that's a crazy motherfucker, right? Like, and it's the same concept. Like any emotional, strong reaction that is out of form or out of character or out of your assigned position in society, you are now deemed something's wrong with
Problematic.
you.
Problematic
Something's
in
now
some
wrong
ways.
with you. You're crazy. But
Yeah.
in reality, you're just a person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
doing people things.
Having an emotional
Having
reaction.
an emotional reaction, probably in a justified way. Most likely in a justified way.
So I want to dovetail off what you were talking about with all the guys talking in the podcast space. There is a growing number of conversations, which is why I asked you about the red pill conversation, if you were up on that. There's a fine line between talking about your emotional pains and hurts and societal responsibilities based on assignment versus you're being too emotional, you're being toxic. There's a very fine line with that, and that seems to be very prevalent in the red pill community. When looking at men talk about certain things with masculinity, relationships, how often do you see situations where people are just saying things for reaction versus they're talking about their real life experiences?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think it really, personal opinion, I think it depends on how narcissistic they are.
right.
Okay.
Sometimes if you're a narcissist, you'll say anything and do anything to get the attention and feedback.
Don't knock it till you try it.
But I think that like at that point, it's very hard to like feel empathy and sympathy for somebody who is constantly searching for that, searching for the validation, the conversation, having the same conversation over and over just to get this pity. Whereas if someone says, "Hey, I really need to speak about something," I'm more likely to take it seriously and hear them because they are not in a consistent state of crisis.
Yeah.
Right? Like someone who's in a consistent state of crisis, I feel for you, but they're like, I can't do anything for you if you're not willing to do anything for yourself.
Correct.
But if you are sitting here saying, "Hey, I need to talk about this," I see you doing something for yourself. And therefore I'm here for you. You know what I mean? And I
Now,
can do something for you.
Can you point out something that's said often in the red pill community amongst men or podcast males, as some people have called them, that is the most problematic and not necessarily pushing the conversation forward?
When they call each other pussies, it's just like the most degrading thing for a man to call another man because it's like, first of
Or
all,
the F
we go
word.
back to the disrespecting women's bodies
Yeah.
and the fact that women are inherently emotional creatures because we're gifted with such. And so like you're putting down an entire gender first because now you're putting a negative meaning behind a word, and now you're making sure that man feels like he is less than by calling him an entire half of the race negative word.
And if you have to like,
Degrading
and if you have to do something like that, like just degrade someone in such a way like that, you're a huge pussy. You know, if you feel the need to do that, maybe
That's pussy action for real.
Yeah.
That's little dick energy.
we should change the definition of a pussy to being like a weak person to just someone that calls people pussies.
Insecure men.
agreed.
Yeah, a little reverse
But I will
Uno
say,
card
but I
on
will
people.
say, like, just like as far as taking the word back goes, like I can say it, but you can't.
What about you guys? When you guys hear women or men say anything in that red pill, pink pill community, what's the most problematic thing that you guys hear?
Like
people say?
usually, like she said, like calling each other pussies or the F word.
Oh yeah, that's a
People
terrible,
still say
terrible
that.
word. People still
Oh
say
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I was at Limerick last night and was hearing this dude like try to defend like his saying that word. He was like, man, just like I was raised at a time when it was okay. And I was like, how old are you? He was like 25. I'm like, you're younger than me, bro. You weren't raised in 1902.
Also, there is no such thing as a time where it was okay. It was never okay. People just don't have the platform to speak up against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was never okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, segueing a little bit, still problematic. So a white lady had a black baby, and she accused her white husband of cheating. Was she low key a genius?
Yeah, she's low-key a genius.
You fucked a black guy and got his semen into your dick, and then you came his semen into my pussy. How dare you?
That is funny.
That'd be great.
That is Gaslight Central,
You brought
baby.
me Jamal's semen?
That'd be funny. It's just like, ah, crap, I didn't think about that. That's also funny. That's also funny. A woman, like, the guy isn't gay at all, so she's just convincing her husband that, like, yeah, that's what gay sex is. You come into each other's dicks. It's like the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z, you know?
Yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, I feel like there's a Scooby-Doo.
Kamehameha. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
I definitely feel like a Scooby-Doo joke is there. It's like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for that darn kid. All right,
Gross.
Yeah, I agree. Interracial relationships. Ugh. Don't get me started.
Not what I said.
Liz Derr just said that, you guys. Can you believe it?
And somewhere Dr. Umar Johnson is like, that's right. Speaking of gross, have you guys seen the backlash to Mr. Beast has gotten? And
Yeah, that's so stupid. That's so stupid.
So you want to break it down a little bit?
It bothers me
Mr.
so much.
Beast?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, who, by the way, I do have friends that have worked for Mr. Beast, and apparently he, as a person, is a huge asshole, but I don't care. That's just funny to me.
Content creator, YouTuber.
Weedle?
Yes, Weedle. A couple other people, too. By the way, Weedle, huge pussy. But no, so Mr. Beast made a video.
Yeah, you can't.
I'll just, anytime I feel like saying it, I'm going to gesture to you, and you say it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll rip that off from that one comic who did that with the N-word.
Gary Owen with his ex-wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Any hoozle.
Full circle. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, Mr. Beast, he made a video where he, like, cured a bunch of people's...
People's blindness.
Yeah, a bunch of people's
1,000
blindness. Yeah, like 1,000 people. And then he, like, made this post about how, like, half the people with, like, legal blindness, it's, like, curable. And, like, an easy, like, I mean, expensive, but it takes, like, 10 minutes to do the whole, like, surgery or whatever it is. And people started giving him shit because they were like, oh, you're just a rich guy doing charity, which is just,
Tax
like...
write-off.
Yeah, a tax write-off. A lot of people say it just kind of, a lot of accelerationists say like it just perpetuates the late stage of capitalism because it just has like, oh, we don't need to pay, have rich people pay higher taxes because they'll just do shit like this. Just
Tax
to, like,
write-off.
yeah, a tax write-off. A lot of people say it just kind of, a lot of accelerationists say like it just perpetuates the late stage of capitalism because it just has like, oh, we don't need to pay, have rich people pay higher taxes because they'll just do shit like this. And so people are just trying to take their own...
But he cured blindness.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why it's
If I was a blind
stupid.
person and he gave me that charity, I'd be like, I'd suck his fucking dick, bro.
Yeah.
I can see.
You could see it at that point, but you couldn't smell it, so yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Mr.
I
Beast,
still taste.
notoriously smelly dick.
What?
By the way, Mr. Beast. That's why they call him Mr. Beast because he's got a smelly dick.
We're gonna throw in allegedly, just in case.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, just in
Allegedly.
case.
No, Jason's seen it. He's been on his knees. He told me all about
I
it.
have, yeah. I was on my knees. We were at church together, actually.
Church, not
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
Catholic?
Episcopalian,
I knew
actually.
somebody was gonna say it.
You know what I would love to do? I'd love to go to an Episcopalian church and just like go up to people and be like, by the way, how do we pronounce this? Like, what's the name of the thing? That'd be funny to do. I know it's only funny to me, but
only funny to you.
90% of the things that I think of are only funny to me.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's why my stand-up has been suffering, I think.
I mean, if you fill in the rest of the set with other things that
funny
people
so
might
far.
find
Yeah, I'll just do it like, just walk into a Catholic
That'd
church
be like your
and...
artist version of like, I didn't make this song for you, I made it for me. That'd be like your
Yeah,
yeah, just limit to one of those on set.
yeah.
You guys
Comics
wanna
do
add
that
on
all the time with their...
Yeah, they'll just,
Is it
yeah.
problematic for the community,
I mean-
or you want grandma to see again?
Nah.
I'd love if my grandma couldn't see, by the way.
But yeah, I think I've heard something about him being an asshole in real life. But
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly,
The alleged asshole.
But it's crazy because everybody and there's literally a video of like Mr. Beast exposed. I mean, when you're that big on
Yeah.
YouTube, everybody got an exposed
Yeah,
video about you. But yeah, like this one black dude that used to work for him, but he's like, when I was looking at his video, I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you need to re-edit this. But
Yeah.
Damn, that editing's still poor.
Yeah, poor. I mean, maybe he did it himself.
That's the worst part of it.
Maybe he did it himself, I guess.
At least when I'm watching an Andrew Tate video, it's well edited. I mean, come on.
Lighting, his bald head is shining.
Yeah.
Like,
They probably put wax on there.
yeah. Well, he don't have bald. He's not bald no more. He got hair now.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
did see those. At first, I think he used to grease the scalp with the tears of women.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Nah,
like,
that-
the
that-
cringe laugh.
that
That's
makes-
that
I mean, there's
that's
plenty
that-
of those
that's
to
that
go
church
around.
laugh. He like, they laugh in church.
That's the Chris Evans thing. Chris Evans. But,
All right.
yep.
Go ahead. You got something?
Dang, I forgot what I was going to say.
Mr. Beast.
Oh,
Mr. Beast,
yeah.
clear, binds.
Nah, I think he genuinely wants to give back.
Okay.
And like, I mean, when you got that much money, you gotta give back in some kind
All
of way.
right. So let's find something to compare that with.
Okay.
Anybody showing themselves or other people, like say feeding the homeless, is that something wrong with that?
I think that giving back to any community, any capacity is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think that your level of community work or community service or giving back in any kind of charitable way deems how many taxes you should be paying, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're rich, you pay rich people taxes. If you're not, you don't, right? And I think that it should be, your taxes should directly relate to how much you make. You should be taxed more if you make more.
Yeah.
And if you do charity work, good for you. But that should have no impact.
Also, you
Like,
can.
I do charity work.
Yeah.
And I don't make enough money to be a rich.
You can
Yeah.
also do great charity work and still be like a bad person. You know, there's people that do it for the wrong reasons.
I mean, look at
like
every
Bill
president
Gates.
ever.
Well, yeah, well, like Bill Gates has given more like money and done more to end world hunger than anyone else in history, but he's still a predatory capitalist pedophile. Allegedly. Allegedly, but also allegedly for legal reasons, but he's actually a pedophile. But like he still is a piece of shit who's like done what he could to prevent third world countries from getting the vaccine. You know, he's still a complete piece of shit, but he has also done more to like, and it's like a weird.
Maybe for him it's like that's how he like justifies his pedophilia.
Yeah.
Like I get to touch one kid for every other kid that I feed.
What do you think he's feeding
You
him
only
with?
touch this kid and I get to feed 5 children in the third world country. Who's serving booty? Sorry.
Wow, I wonder what got you banned from TikTok.
How was you banned from TikTok? TikTok, man.
The Chinese government was like, you know what, we can't have this anymore.
I was too popular for it. I have so many people hit me up on Instagram still and are like, I miss you on TikTok, by the way.
Aww.
Yeah, the women were so supportive. They're like, man, I felt like I had a pooping partner.
A pooping partner.
And the men would just say the most disgusting things I've ever read in my life to me.
All right, give me a little
Yeah.
piece. Give me a little piece.
I make
Not
a joke,
that piece of that thing.
I make a joke about it on stage, but a lot of them like will hit me up and ask me to take videos of myself shitting, like straight on, like please shit on camera for me, show me your shit.
So that's your
Like-
OnlyFans content?
No, I actually don't have an
Yeah, if you
OnlyFans.
join her Patreon, she will mail you her toilet paper. I think that's one of the tiers.
I don't have an OnlyFans, but I'm not against it in any way.
I mean, you definitely have the setup market. Like, it's like, what's the girl that turned 18 and made like 30 mil? Was that Bad Baby?
All of them? I feel like that's most of
Because
them.
men are monsters and they will fuck anything that it just is barely legal.
Yeah.
You
It's so funny
definitely have that
imagining.
rollout.
It's so funny because you're just imagining there's like men with like a countdown clock, like New Year's, like 10, 9, 8,
As
7.
Funny, as funny as that is, because that is funny.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But it's very accurate.
It's
That's
true.
That's
Very
why
accurate,
she
yeah.
made so much money. I mean, she actually posted receipts.
It's because we have a big issue with women maintaining childlikeness. Like, how many surgeries are out there for a woman to look younger? How many creams are out there for a woman to look
Yeah.
younger? But a man can get old distinguishedly.
Yeah.
But a woman can't.
Now that part I'm fine with. I'm looking forward to going full gray.
Yeah,
I can't wait to be a good-looking old man, which isn't gonna happen.
So you said
But
you want like Granny to be getting some action? Like,
What I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
What I'm saying is that
Big
women
time.
are expected to like maintain youth, whereas men are not. And that's a really big issue in
Guys,
society,
do
and
you
why
guys-
pedophilia is such a fucked up issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it also goes back into the idea of like, you know, like the creepy stuff around like, you know, like fetishizing virgins. Like that's part of why, like, you know, the whole like, oh, she's young kind of thing.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want your salt and pepper, or are you gonna Rogaine it?
I've already got some grays coming in, and I am excited to see where they go next. Downtown, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Our heads went to the same place.
Chest hair, but okay.
My mom's going white and
Chest hair.
blonde as
That'd be
well,
good.
so I hope I go white.
Civil
and
Fox
not
Superman.
gray.
I'd love to have just like all the chest hair, but like a rogue streak, like Rogue from X-Men. Just like a gray streak right
I want
there.
that too, with my
Yeah.
hair, rogue streak.
I thought people were doing that. People
I mean,
are
I'm
doing
not
it.
gonna
You
dye
don't
my
wanna
hair
force
for it. It'll just happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to dye
What, you
my
I
hair.
have
salt and
Are you
pepper
kidding
beard?
me?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have gray. Have some maybe if I'm
Oh, I got a
lucky.
good question for the guys.
Have some gray hair
Would
like
you
the.
rather have the salt and pepper look like full Snow White, or keep your hairline? You gotta sacrifice one.
You know why this question makes me uncomfortable? It's so real.
Yeah, it's so real.
That's the least hypothetical question I've ever been asked in my life.
It's a real thing.
That's that's on par with like, so what do you want for dinner tonight? Like it's the same longer time frame, but
Lose an arm or lose a leg. Man,
I'm not playing. I'm not hooping anymore. So
yeah.
I guess
Go
it depends
leg.
on where on the leg, dude.
Yeah, one
You're
arm.
below the knee. That's really important.
Maybe I could go gray and have like gray dreads like the
That would be sick as fuck.
what was it, the
I'm
Valerian
thinking about that too.
from
Like,
Game of House of
I
Dragons.
I
I
It
see
looks
that, and I
distinguished.
think that looks good. I think it looks very
I had
attractive.
what's my man name from The Walking Dead? The guy that had
Ezekiel?
The locks? Yeah, I had a girl who was like, "Oh, you gonna be so Ezekiel?" I'm like, "Ooh." But yeah, now once you do a couple Google searches, like, okay, I can work this. As long as I don't have my locks coming like right back here.
Yeah.
The
That's like if you see like Stevie Wonder now and he
Stevie
just
Wonder,
has
oh
that
my
like
God.
circle in the back
he
there.
doesn't know. 'Cause
Look,
can't-
He has no idea.
But I mean, it's just all forehead to him.
Lil Wayne on the way.
You think so? You think he should let it go?
If you don't cut it off, he just gonna have one dread just hanging and then just hair, just hair. But that hairline.
He'll have to hit up Jada Pinkett Smith for some style tips. You know.
And that's what got Chris slapped.
That's what we got good. Hey, Will Smith,
All
come
right,
at me.
I'm
I'd
about
love to
get
meet
you. Guys
you.
up out of here. You want to hold it for us a quick second, or you want to go?
I can hold it. I'll hold it.
Okay. Look at the man telling him what to do.
You go when I say you go.
All right. Since we have diversity in the room, let's talk Black History Month.
Can we talk about what I sent you on Instagram when you asked me to do this show?
Yes. Say it.
So he hits me up and he's like, "Will you do the show on Wednesday? I need a girl who can keep up with the guys." And I was like, "You about to have a white woman on the show on the first day of Black History Month?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. Little black boys and white girls playing together."
And here we are.
Here we are.
Making poop jokes.
Having a good time, guys.
All right. As non-blacks, have you ever asked a black person to touch their hair?
No,
Never, not one.
no.
You ever volunteered your hair to be touched?
No, but
What's the difference?
I don't like it when people touch my hair. It makes me very uncomfortable.
I've never volunteered
Makes
like
me,
to
like,
a black
angry.
person to touch my hair, but people want to play with my hair. I'm like, you know what? Go crazy. I don't care.
No,
I got this thick Jewish hair thing going on.
You do have a nice head of hair.
I know. Thank you.
Oh, that's why the hairline receding got so real for you.
I can't.
Like,
I can't.
Like Cleveland Brown without his mustache.
I saw a picture of myself like from behind and kind of up, and I thought I saw like I had a crown for like a second, and I started freaking out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm vain.
As a black, have you ever had someone say, "Hey, let me touch your hair"?
You still talking to me?
No. This guy. Black t-shirt, black guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say I did, but
What was her name?
it was a while ago.
Was she a white lady?
I think she was Asian.
Asian.
Oh well, that's okay.
Can't blame the whites for that one.
She was Asian. But yeah, it was a while. I think it was in college.
It was college situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe ignorance is there in that
Yeah, I mean, I was
situation.
about to say
when
it's
you're young, you
the
don't know better.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what's inappropriate. I mean, but that kind of go well. It's not the same, but it kind of goes with someone being young, not understanding what's appropriate to say.
I agree
But I think
with
we
that
have a lot
to
of
a
reference
degree.
points.
I think
That's what I was saying,
now
yeah.
in culture with like Google and the internet, I think
How many people Google what they can say though?
But I think that this next generation has a lot more information provided to them than maybe our generation did.
So
I think that I was not fully socially aware of my advantage as a white person until I went to college. Because I wasn't educated on the topic until I got older.
But it came from conversation, right?
No, it came from just having friends who are not white, and
Well, some would call that confrontation.
No,
Like
it's
being
not like they
confronted. Well,
call.
I'm saying not argument.
Out.
I mean like being confronted with the truth.
Oh, maybe not. I think it was like general. I think for me at least, it was general interest in how my friends can live the best lives they can, right? Like,
Yeah.
So, they would say comments to me where I would understand some of them as a woman, right? I'm scared to walk I'm scared to walk home right now. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel that bitch, right? Versus
You felt her hair, yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid to ask my boss to go on this trip because this trip is in the South and it's an all white company. Oh, that is a big difference. That's not something I can fully understand, right?
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that where I had to educate myself because it's not that I wasn't aware that it was more difficult for people of color to live in this country, but it was that I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
It's in the extremities, like.
Yeah.
And until I got older, I didn't understand that because it just wasn't in front of me.
Yeah. What I was going to say, like what I meant by being confronted with the truth, it's kind of like when you were talking about your experiences as a woman that we can't relate to as men, but there were certain overlaps and intersections in where I can relate as a black person to certain struggles, like say the police stop. Park in a well-lit place.
Park in a well-lit
That is
place.
something for me, and I'm twice your size. Depending on the day. But at the same time, it's
something you have to be cognizant of because it's a scary thing that you have to protect yourself from.
But my fears and your fears are based. They're very close, but they're based on different reasons.
Based on different reasons, but historically speaking, they both end up with us getting terribly hurt or killed.
If there was a movie made about it, I wouldn't be in part 2. Neither were you.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, little slutty white girl, dead, dude. I was actually in
That's a horror movie. Yeah,
I was in a horror movie
You was in a
recently.
movie.
The movie's called Blood Mountain Massacre, and me
Is
and
it
the
out
black guy, we both die in the same scene.
That's when you walk around with the camcorder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is it out yet?
Not yet. We're in our final stages of
waiting on it.
editing.
I want to see those
We
sweet
died.
boobs.
We're the first
And not
ones
pay OnlyFans
killed.
fees.
We're the first two killed as the slutty white girl and the black bassist.
Oh,
First two killed were killed.
Oh, you cross the line when you go into bassist. In my opinion. You know, I used to play bass. You don't fuck with my people. I didn't realize how oppressed I was as a bassist. I had no idea. This is interesting. Wow.
Who is the white version of Dr. Umar? Is it Jordan Peterson?
Who?
Dr. Umar Johnson.
Let's just say Jordan Peterson. Why not?
Okay. You agree? Do you know either one?
Yeah, I know Umar, but
You know Umar?
I've seen Jordan Peterson. I'm not too familiar with his work, but I have seen him. I really don't know.
No.
I really don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know. Don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Because it is because it is Black History Month, is the John Cena dance now called the Tony Yayo?
Yes, yeah, I'm behind it.
As the rapper is stumped. I don't want to lose my white fans.
No, I don't know.
But like, just on the topic of like professional wrestling, did you guys see that movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson where he played Black Adam?
No,
Black
I
Adam,
need
yeah.
to.
And you know how he does this? They do this in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
Yeah.
tell me that that's not DDP though? And you got The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and they're walking around doing the DDP sign, Diamond Dallas Page,
In wait, the superhero movie?
in Black Adam. Yeah,
Yeah, I
bro.
forgot they were
see
did.
that.
I forgot
Dude,
they did
they're all
that.
going like this. They're reaching up to the sky like this, and it's all about Black Adam. But that's DDP. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I forgot
I
they
was
did that.
so upset about that.
I forgot about that.
How did Dwayne not immediately contest that and say that?
He probably saw it as an
Because
homage.
he was in WWE, not WCW.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Look at me.
In your
Like,
face.
In my face, yeah.
That's
but also-
right.
but
That's
also
not
is
Women's
DDP
History Month.
But also, is DDP the leader of the Illuminati? I'm just curious.
And we're back to Bill Gates. We're back to Bill Gates.
Here's the thing with that though. It's like you could have very easily counted that because he came to the WWE briefly. But going back to I lost my point.
We're talking about John Cena.
Was it John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena.
Yeah.
Black History.
Oh, yep, totally lost it. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do the drugs. I do it naturally. So when you guys talk about your creative process, how is it different from other creators?
I think it's kind of. I think this is like a very unique question per person, right? Because no matter the artist or no matter the art or the platform, we all have our own ways of handling it. Maybe they're similar, maybe they're not.
Okay.
I think it's as unique as a person is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
It
something?
is. Yeah, it's just another thing too that like one of the marketing gurus I follow said this, and I fully agree. You know, I just don't. Even me as like an artist, I don't lock myself in the studio all day. I don't lock myself by a picture trying to create something all day like everybody else does. And I'm like, if you're doing that, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you if you want to like just lock yourself in there. You afraid to like confront something, but you should travel and like see different things that you don't want to see. I mean, but that you haven't seen.
Like art is imitation of life, right?
Right.
So you have to live life in order to create art. That's what you're trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I completely agree with your stance on that.
Yep.
So you're attacking the Kobe Mamba mentality? That's your stance? Why you wear the New York Nick Orange?
Oh, I rarely wear this jacket. And I just felt like wearing it. But yeah, that mom mentality, yeah.
Gotcha. Does everyone feel like they've been heard? Anything you want to talk about before she takes a pee break?
I'm late, but I feel like I've been heard.
Good. Okay. Cool. I mean, you want to stay for another episode? You want to stay for another episode?
I mean, yeah, I can.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you want to say use the bathroom and then we can finish up?
Okay, that sounds great.
All right. Cool. Her said yes.
Washing my legs and shit.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was thinking you were just being a lady.
All this talk about feminism and we have to stop the show so the woman can take a pee break.
Right on cue.
It's like a road trip.